Hi, my name is Rebecca, and in today's lesson, you're going to have a chance to correct some errors in English grammar. I've written some sentences on the board, and each of these sentences has some kind of English error. It might be in verb tenses, might be in prepositions, word order, or something else. So go through the sentence. I'll give you a little time to look at the sentence and try to find the mistake, and then I'll explain the mistake. Okay? Let's get started. Okay, first one. I have met John last year. I have met John last year. Okay? Now, there is an error in every one of these sentences. Do you know what the error is in the first sentence? Any idea? Think about it. Okay? I'm going to correct it now. So the error is in this part, because we have said last year, we cannot use the present perfect tense. Right now, when we said, I have met John last year, it's the present perfect tense. In present perfect tense, you cannot use a finished time. So finished time as in last year. As soon as you use something like last year, yesterday, last month, last summer, and so on, that means you're talking about the past, or even 3 hours ago, which is already the past, and that's a finished time. So when you use present perfect, you cannot use it finished time marker. You can use an unfinished time, like today, this week, this month, this year, but you can't use a finished time. If you need to mention a finished time in a sentence, then you just go back to use the past simple tense, as we've done right here. Now, I've taken out the have, and it says, I met John last year. Okay? Now, that sentence is grammatically correct. Let's look at the next one. She's engaged with a dentist. She's engaged with a dentist. Okay? Take a second. Do you have any idea? Where's the error? Okay. So the error is here. It's the wrong preposition. Okay? The preposition should be, she's engaged to a dentist. Alright? We actually say engaged to, married to. Alright? So here the problem was with the preposition. Alright. Next one. I must to go home now. Alright? I must to go home now. What's wrong there? Okay. So here is the error. The error is the fact that we don't need to say I must to go, but just I must go home now. I must go home now. Must is a modal, just like should, could, can, and so on, right? So you should be saying, I should go home now. I must go home now. I could go home now. But with all these modals, the verb that follows should be used directly and not in the infinitive form, all right? So we don't need to say, I must to do something. I must do something. I must go. I must study. I must work, all right? And so on. So that was the error here. Next one. She's been in London since 5 months. She's been in London since 5 months. Okay? Take a second. What's the mistake there? Okay? Okay? So now the error is over here, because we cannot say since 5 months. We use since plus the point in time when something happened, right? But if you're giving the length of time or the period of time, then you have to use the preposition for, okay? So this part is present perfect, that's fine. Very often with present perfect, we do see time markers like since and for, but you have to learn how to use them correctly. Sorry, not time markers, but prepositions, okay? Next. My wife, engineer. My wife, engineer. Okay? What's wrong with that? Well, there's a couple of things wrong with that. First of all, in every English sentence, it's very important to know that you do need to have a verb. And this sentence has no verb. And the verb in English can also be the verb to be, because that is a verb. But you need some verb. Every English sentence requires a verb. So we need to add a verb here. My wife is. But now, because engineer is only singular, it's one person, so we need to add the indefinite article a. But it's not a, because there's an e here. So we actually need to add an. My wife is an engineer. So there are a couple of grammatical points to think about in making this a correct sentence, right? First, we had to add the verb, is. Next, we had to add an article, an indefinite article. Normally, if it was something else, like a doctor, okay, then we would have just said a doctor, a dentist. But because the verb starts with, the word starts with an E, we need to say an engineer. To improve your English, you need to do these kind of exercises. So go to the resources section of our website, www.ingvid.com, and download a list of 50 of the most common grammar errors that we have listed for you there. All right? Good luck with your English. Thanks for watching.